Hello, and welcome to another episode. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander. Welcome to match 2 of Rats, Spirits, Legendary, and Samurai. So let's go ahead and jump in. I rolled the dice, and Rats is going first, so that could give it the edge this time. Let's see what happens. Draw a card for turn. When a Terramorphic expands, cracking that into a basic swamp, tapped, shuffle, and then we will pass turn. Draw for turn. We're going to play Path of Ancestry. Comes in tapped, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's identity, and if it's used to cast a creature that shares a type with it, you scry one. Pass turn. Plaza of Heroes. Taps for colorless or 1 of any color, but only spent on legendary spells. Or you can add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you already control. And you can exile it, and target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So in a pinch, it's a nice little way to protect your commander or any major creature. Pass turn. Go over here and draw for turn. And we're going to play Temple of Triumph. Comes in tapped, but when it comes in, I do get to scry one. Tawashi Guidebot. When it enters, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature control. 4-drop. I think I might actually leave that there. We'll then pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Going to play another swamp for turn. Tapping 2 for Jet Medallion. Your black spells cost 1 less to play. Hopefully that will help speed up a lot of these rats, especially if I can get some ramp going and card draw, which is going to be the biggest problem with that deck, definitely. As with most of my decks, but specifically I have Phyrexian Arena in there, and I'm not even sure what other kind of real card draw spells I have in there, unfortunately. So we'll pass. Untap over here, upkeep, draw. Swamp for turn. We're going to tap both for Ellis Ilcor, Sadistic Pilgrim. 2/2 with Death Touch. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under my control, I gain a life. Whenever another creature I control dies, each opponent loses a life. We will go ahead and pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and play Morphic Pool. Comes in tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents, which I do. And then we will tap 2 for a Thought Vessel. No maximum hand size. Tap it to add 1 colorless mana. I think we saw that last game. Because as we know, you can't play a game of Commander without having like half the cards that you've already seen play again. We'll pass turn. I guess I could have tried to get my Commander out, but I like that little bit of ramp early on. No one's doing anything too much right now. Untap, upkeep, draw. We will play. I know I had another lane here somewhere. Secluded Courtyard. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. I'm going to choose Samurai. I can add colorless or add 1 mana of any color, spend it only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type, or activate abilities of the chosen type. Tapping 2 to play the Ruby Medallion. Red spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. We're going to pass. Okay, untap, upkeep, draw. Play a swamp for turn. Here's the fun thing. Since each black spell costs 1 less, that means 1, 2, 3, rat colony, or rat colony, or rat colony. They all cost 1 to cast. How awesome is that? And since they have summoning sickness, I can't attack with them, so it doesn't matter that the commander's not on the field to give them Toxic 1. We can wait till next turn, bring him out, buff them all, and give them Toxic 1 and let them swing away. So we've got 3 rat colonies. That means they're each getting a buff of +2/+0. So they are 4 1s. On turn 3, I'd say that's pretty solid. Pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. I will play Unclaimed Territory. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. I will choose Spirits. Add a colorless or add a mana of any color as long as it's to cast a creature spell of the chosen type. I think you guys could probably figure that out just based on how it was, but whatever. Now I have 3 mana, 1, 2, and 3 to play Bastion of Remembrance. When it enters the battlefield, do I have a freaking human token set aside? I do not. Of course not. Well, we'll just put a dice for that then right now. I'll have to, if Old Spirits makes it through the chopping block, I'll have to put some human tokens in there. So when it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. All right. Ooh, yes. Well, the question is, where do we go? Because if we hang back, we have 2 creatures, we can hang back to block. And I guess that's what we should do. Because while these will die, I can kill 2 rats as well. So that should kind of deter him from swinging everything over this way. Whereas those guys are open, much better for him to swing all of his rats at one person and get 3 or more, 3 toxic, poison counters on somebody, because I don't think any rats have haste. So we're going to hang back, try and play it smart. Pass turn. What? Me playing smart? That's not what this channel's about. Untap, upkeep, draw. Sea of Clouds. Well, wait a second. Let's check out my mana base. Do I have anything? Well, do I really don't have anything better? So, Sea of Clouds comes untapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. I do, so it's untapped. I have 4 mana. I guess we should definitely, well, can we? Yes, tap it over here. Green and white to play Jensen Carthalion, Druid Exile. A 2/2. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, scry 1. If you play a spell that's all 5 colors, you make a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Do I have any 2-drops? Nope. All right, we're going to pass turn. Now we're going to draw for turn over here, play a mountain, and then since everything costs, well, red spells cost 1 less to cast, rather, we will tap 1, 2, and 3 to cast Ryu, Storm's Edge. 3/3 with first strike, and whenever a samurai or warrior I control attacks alone, untap it. If it's the first combat phase of the turn, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. Nobody has haste, so we will pass. All right, but now everyone has a creature on the field, so rats isn't quite as scary as it was a few seconds ago. We untap, we draw for turn, we play a swamp. And this is unfortunately where we kind of start to stall out, really. I can't even quite do that yet. So, okay. Black spells cost 1 less to cast, so I'll tap 2 to play my commander. Monix, the Rat King. A 3/3 with Toxic 1. Your rats you control have Toxic 1. When Monix enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of rat cards from among them, put them in your hand with the rest on the bottom. So we got 1, nope. 2, nope. 3, nope. 4, nope. 5, wow. A lot of really good cards. And if you'll remember from the last game, I also lost Massacre Worm to the Rat King's little ability. So that's kind of upsetting. But I can't believe that was my best chance at card draw for, get a handful of rats, and nope, whiffed on every single one. Real fun. All right, so I got 3 rats that are currently 1, 2, 3. They are now 5/1s with Toxic 1. That's an interesting thought because all of my opponents have their commanders out. Now although except he has that little 1/1 human that he could jump block with, which would be a waste. But I could send a rat in each direction over here and force them to get. My rats would die, but they would lose their commanders and have to recast them. Or I could send all 3 rats in one direction, definitely forcing them to give up a commander. Or do I want to just hold? Because that's an option too, obviously. But then you give the other characters a chance to start getting more creatures out to block with. And while I have said that this does not have any kind of proliferate, we do want to get some. The earlier you can get a toxic damage and get some poison counters in there, the better. I'm going to send. Such a difficult decision. I'm going to send these 2 rats your way. It seems odd, but because he can give himself a second combat, and he has first strike, it'd be better to have 2 creatures over here to block with to deter him from coming my direction. So yes, you have 5/1s coming your way. You can take 10 damage, or you can chump block one of them and recast your commander. Recasting the commander at this point would not cost that much, but I wouldn't be able to play anything else. Let's see what we have in the hand over here, actually, now that I think about it. I might have an answer. I do. Look at that. We're going to tap a blue and unsummon your rat colony. Target creature, return target creature to its owner's hand. So now you only have one of those little guys coming at me. I will let 5 damage go through. Actually, it would be 4 damage, wouldn't it? Because I unsummoned it, so now that was before combat. Excuse me. So it's only got 2 other rats to buff it, so it's a 4/1 now. Cool, there you go. A decent play. Rats is like, okay, I see you. However, I do have on main phase 2, I can just pay 1 and recast that rat colony. So it didn't really do too much to me because I don't have any 2-drops anyway, so it didn't hurt much. But it helped you out. It's a good move. We're going to pass turn. I know, praising yourself, how stupid, but it's almost like praising another person, so I wasn't thinking of it like that. Untap, upkeep, draw. I will play a Plains for turn, and I have 4 mana. Can only really use 3 of it right now. To play Hallowed Spirit Keeper, a 3/2 with Vigilance. When Hallowed Spirit Keeper dies, create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So, not the best. Because unless you can really get a lot of creatures in your graveyard, okay. Yeah, I can attack. I can attack. There's no one to really go after, though. So we're going to pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Now I will play Shattered Sanctum. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more lands. I do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 mana. Okay, this is going to be a no-brainer. We got white, black, and 3 others. To play Aravad the Cursed, a 3/3 with Death Touch and Lifelink, and other legendary creatures you control get +2/+2. He is a multicolored spell, so let me go ahead and scry 1. It's just a land. I think we're going to dump that on the bottom. Well, hang on a second. And I can tap this for any color. Do I have any other lands? I do, but I mean, because it's got green. I really don't have any green cards in my hand other than, okay, so I can dump it. Just trying to make sure I'm not giving away a unnecessary color. Because last game I was short on black mana and that was really screwing me over, so I didn't want to make sure that happened again. Alright, so that's cool. Now he's only a 4/4 at this point, but that's still better than nothing. If we can get some good, bigger legendary creatures out, that'll really buff some strength. Tempted to swing back, but you've got more than enough giant blockers to kill Jensen. And there's no real point in going after anybody else, because I think everyone's already realizing that rats is going to be a problem. They don't know we don't have anything good in the hand, no more rats, but still, like 3 5/5s is, or 5/1s is nothing to sneeze at. So we will pass. Untap, upkeep, draw, play a mountain for turn. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Red spells cost 1 less to cast. So I'm going to tap 1 and that to play Bronze Plate Boar. It's a 3/2 with trample. Equipped creature gets +3/+2 and has trample, reconfigure of 5. So right now it's a 3/2 with trample, but if I pay 5, I can reconfigure it onto my commander to give it a +3/+2 and trample, which would be huge. I also have, oh darn, I still only have 2 mana left, so I actually can't play anything else, even with that nice little reduction. So now, do I try and start swinging with Ryu? Again, not really. He's not going to get through at this point. We need to buff him up with trample, ideally, so that he gets to the point where he can actually get through on both strikes. So we're going to have to just pass. Bit of a war of attrition right now where everyone's just kind of biding their time. Draw. Is it a rat? It is, actually. Sweet. Play a swamp for turn. Then I'm going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4 for Thran Dynamo. And then tap 1 to play another rat colony. Yay! So now I have plenty of mana to recast Commander if I need to, and, if I get some sort of, find a way to actually get a bunch of cards real fast, I can play a bunch of them too. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 rat colonies are all getting +4/+0. So these are now 6 ones with Toxic 1. That is true. You did get a Toxic 1. So there's me first mistake of the game. Not cool. What's better? Oh, here we go. Would use green, so it's kind of a sickly. It's green, so it means poison. I don't know. It's better than nothing. Okay, so now I've got some big boys that can go swinging. Still easy to kill because they have a toughness of 1. So anything on the board can kill them. And then we lose the edge because then we lose some creatures. So I think, yeah, everyone's got at least 2 creatures. This guy's got 3. So it's like, I think we need to just bide our time and try and get more of a rat army before we swing. Pass. Now, it might be the wrong choice. I don't know. It's still getting used to the deck. And like I said, clearly we need more card draw to just dump rats faster. All right, Temple of the False Gods, the hated card for some reason because it's like, yeah, if you get it in turn, 1, 2, 3, even 4, it's not anything. It's just to take up space. But like, look, I had it in my hands for like the last couple turns. I waited, I played it. It's fine. Anyway, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. All right, now nobody has any kind of upkeep triggers yet. I don't think I've missed anything. Nobody gains life or does anything crazy when creatures come in. Okay. So I'm going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to play Thalis Reverent Medium. It's a 3/4. Can you see that? No, you can't see this, so we'll move this over. And we'll try and move everybody over to get a little bit out of the glare. Not that you can really read these cards anyway, other than me putting them on the screen. But so now, Thalis. At the beginning of each end step, create X/1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Great card for this deck if I can make some sort of token generator somewhere. I still cannot. That's the rub on this one. It's supposed to be makes the spirits, and it doesn't make the spirits. Yeah, I can't even like let this die because I have nothing in my graveyard, so that wouldn't even make me one. So we're gonna pass because there's nothing really to do. It's a bit of a stalemate game, kind of boring. I don't like that, but we'll see what happens. Because this is, I don't know, to me, this is actually kind of untap, upkeep, draw. This is kind of how Magic was meant to be. It's supposed to be a war. It's supposed to be armies smashing into each other. So you're trying to wait until you have the advantage of numbers to swing past. Yes, spells and instants and sorceries are important and can really help and are meant to, but I think a lot of time with Commander we forget about that. We forget how Commander was originally meant to be, and we think it's all about combos and all about crazy spell synergies and this and that. And it's like that is really cool, and it's great to see it go off when you do, but sometimes it's just about smashing monsters together. I'm going to tap this for green, tap this for white, and tap this for colorless to play King Darien the Super Bowl. I don't know what number that is. I don't care. It's a 2/3. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. Pay 5 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on King Darien, and create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Sacrifice the king, create creature tokens you control, gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So right now, my creatures, since the creatures in this deck should almost all be legendary. There's a couple that aren't. They're now getting +3/+3 thanks to these two. Um, well, he's only getting +1/+1 because he gives the buff to others, and so does he. So it's a tech, blah blah blah. So this dude, only my commander's getting 3. These ones are getting a weird combo. But I can also, so to keep that weirdness going. Oh no, I can't, can I? Darn, darn, darn. That is a sad. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. I don't care. No, I need one more white to play the Glorious Anthem I have, which would buff them even more, but that's fine. We're going to, this is a poison counter. Let's remember that there. I did play a multicolored spell, and I think I missed it on this. I know I missed it on this. Did I? Maybe I didn't actually. Let's see. Chromatic Lantern. Well, because of, what we just said we were missing, I'm going to leave that there because we were missing. That helps fix all the colors, so we'll leave that. And I do not have any more lands in hand, so that's even better because that does fix everything. We're going to go ahead and pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. And then now I could whip, but that would lower my creature count. And let's see, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're going to have to go with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tawashi Guidebot. It's a 2/1. When Tawashi Guidebot enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on every creature you control. Hey, Commander. Pay 4 and tap it to draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to cast, 1 less to activate, rather, for each modified creature you control, which is 1 currently, so that means I would have to pay 3 and tap it to draw a card. That's pretty cool. So hopefully I can use that to get some card draw, because I want more lands so I can play a couple. I have a couple more reconfigure creatures in my hand that would really make him extremely powerful, but they're high cost to reconfigure, so I need more mana. Unfortunately, I really don't think it's wise to go swinging just yet. So we're going to go ahead and pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Fine. Yet another creature we saw last game. 1, 2, 3. As the Thran Dynamo goes spinning out of control. Thran Dynamo and 2 more for Turgrid, God of Fright. 4/5 with Menace. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So that doesn't mean that when they get destroyed, it has to be sacrificed or discarded. So I don't really see much of that happening, so it's probably not going to come in too handy, but it's a good card. In a lot, against I know a lot of my friends have cards or decks that are big about, oh, I sacrifice this and gain, whatever, or draw cards. It's like that would come in handy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the rats are 6/1s. But again, everybody's getting creatures, so there's no overwhelming with the rats, and there's no card draw. So what could have been a really amazing start stalled out real fast, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and pass. And I understand I could be more aggressive and swing, but it just feels dumb. Like, it just feels like whoever starts swinging first is just going to open themselves up and die first. It doesn't make sense at this point. Untap, upkeep, draw, play a land for turn. Okay, so we're going to tap 2 and only cast creature spells of the chosen type, which I chose Spirit, unfortunately, so that's not going to work. So Temple of False Gods and a Plains for Mentor the Meek, and I'm now realizing that I missed. Ugh, I hate that. It's definitely been a few turns, but yeah, I missed some life gain off of creatures coming in. So it should have been 1, 2, 3 now. I guess we'll just do the 1. Because again, I screwed up. It's been plenty of turns, so it's not fair to expect people to let you have that. If you can't play your own cards, it's not someone else's job to play them for you, guys. I will then tap 1, 2, and another white to play the enchantment Promise of Bunray. When a creature you control dies, sacrifice promise of right. If you do, create 4 1/1 colorless spirit creature tokens. Not with flying, though. Also, by the way, whenever Tormentor of the Meek, whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 if you do draw a card. Theoretically, if I make spirits, that would be a great way for card draw, but Okay, yep. No real reason to go swinging, so pass. My misplays aside, you're making me look bad. Untap, upkeep, draw. All right, we knew what that was. So 1, 2, and here, 1, 2, 3 for Chromatic Lantern. I still have 4, so we will now play these. Tap 3 for 3 white to play Glorious Anthem. My creatures get +1/+1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So Jensen is now a 6/6 commander, which is awesome. Let's put this like this because he's the most powerful. Then he's getting 2, so he's a 5/5, and he is getting 1, 2, 3, so he is a 5/6. Pretty good. That's kind of how the deck is supposed to. They're supposed to buff each other and help each other, all the legendaries. But unfortunately, I only have 3 of them. They're scary, but they're not crazy. They don't really have, let's see, I played 2 monocolor spells, well, no color and monocolor. So that doesn't help. Yep, pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Okay. Play a Plains for turn, at least that's mana. Yeah, all these reconfigure costs are super high. Um, Tapping for a red and another red, obviously, since they're mountains. But it costs 1 less to cast because of Ruby. So Komanu Battle Armor. It's a 2/2 with Menace, and whenever the battle armor or equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, goad each creature that player controls, and if I equip it, the creature has +2/+2 and Menace. Then with my last 3 mana, I will play Cloud Steel Current. Let's do this. These guys are all ready to go. These are some instances. Cloud Steel Current, 3/2 with flying. Obviously, the equipped creature will then have flying, and you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. However, it does say equipped creature has that, so that means Cloud Steel Kieran by itself doesn't have that, which is odd, since the other ones have their abilities without being reconfigured. So that's a little sort of like you have to reconfigure it if you want that cool, you can't lose. All right, but this is reconfigure 5, reconfigure 4, reconfigure 5, which is like I was saying, I need a lot more mana. I need some mana rocks real fast to be able to dump them all onto my commander and make him like super strong. But it's good because now at least I have a lot of creatures to stave off the rats and everybody else. So pass. I mean, nothing else is going on. I don't have any kind of triggers that I'm aware of. All right, come on. Let's not make this a 4-hour game just because everyone wants to be a standoff. Tapping 1 for a rat colony. I love that the rat deck's doing what it's supposed to. I just need a little faster. Okay, that's an interesting thought. I think we're going to try and do that. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's try and do a little rope-a-dope here, shall we? Now, who do we go after? Okay, yeah, see, going after him would be stupid because his creatures are way too big. None of them will die. I say we go after you because your creatures are pretty small. Well, those are too. Yeah, let's go for broke, shall we? This one's summoning sickness, so we can't go. We're gonna we're gonna try and bluff, right? We're gonna be like, yeah, this is bull crap. No one's doing anything for the last like 4 turns. I'm just swinging. I don't care. Swinging everything at you. Why me? Because I don't like your face. Okay, well, your stupid one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your little 6/1s are gonna die now. Nope, 7/1s. Yeah, 7/1s. All right, well, I'm not taking all that freaking damage, so I'm blocking everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now here's the thing. Oh yeah, I know all my creatures are gonna die, but so are yours. So there. Um, yeah. So this guy is a 3/4. He'll block the commander. The rest will block everything else. Although this one can't be blocked unless I do two of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one definitely gets through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you do have the most life, so there is that. Okay. So everything dies. Would I sacrifice the commander? Like, would I block with the commander? That's 7 full damage. That would knock me down real fast when no one else has taken hardly any damage. So I think it would only be the first time. So yeah, I would. So then it'd be like, okay, do I have any kind of, let's slow it down. When he dies, create X. There's nothing in my graveyard. That's not going to do it. The beginning of each step, nothing. When another creature or power 2 enters, nope, nothing there. When a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So that's good. Right, so 1, 2, this is going to get that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each opponent is going to lose 5 life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I gain a life. Oops. What is that? Okay. And then all of your stuff dies. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to let the commander go to the graveyard because main phase 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and actually because it costs 1 less, that's all I need. Instant spell, Thrilling Encore. Put onto the battlefield under your control all creature cards in all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn. Boom, king, colony, 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 colony. And oh, what was that you just got rid of? I'll take that, that, and that. Thanks very much. You son of a... Thanks, chump, for playing into my trap. Well, do I have anything that could have stopped it? No. No. And I only have 1 open mana anyway. So this did some help because this helped hit everybody, but yeah, that is pretty sweet. And I like it because I mean I've had it since I think the opening hand. Thrilling Encore, right? And it's a 5-drop, so it's a pretty big spell, but it's perfect to use in conjunction after someone does a board wipe or something like that, where you know everything's gonna die because it's gonna be a bunch of blockers. And I don't think I did anything wrong. Oh, I can do this promise of Bunreal. Whenever a creature you control dies, sacrifice it. If you do, create 4 1/1 colorless spirit tokens. But they're normal spirit tokens, these ones, that don't have flying. Do I have any more? Yes, there we go. Last one. Okay. So the cool thing is, I mean, while it does suck royally, he at least gets 4 blockers back. But now, my guy, now these aren't rats, of course, but I now have more creatures that can do things. And, so now I have blockers that I can start swinging the rats with in order to, like, get through. You did block everything, so you took no poison counters, so that's good. Still this turn. When it dies, create that. Beginning of each step, create X tokens. Wait, I didn't make any tokens. And whenever 2 or less power, so that's probably not gonna. Well, I don't know how instantaneous that is. I think it's in pretty quick, so I don't think that would count for that. But all right, still pretty awesome. I'm really glad that was actually because it makes sense. Because while yes, I knew it was coming. I mean, think about it. Like I had to do this. This character had to do that. Otherwise, it would have taken, like 35 damage if I hadn't blocked. I had to stop all those 7/1 rat colonies. And in his head, it's like, well, it's a stalemate. Like we all lose our creatures. You're just leaving us open for these guys, but whatever, jerk. I'm not going to let you. And then you get screwed over. So this character would probably be super ticked off right now. But whatever. So pass turn. I'm happy with that move. That was pretty nice. Untap, upkeep, draw. First off, we will go ahead and tap 1, 2 for the tax, and then 1/2 to replay the commander. Then 1/2 3 to play Mirror Entity, a 1/1 changeling. This card is every creature type, so it's a spirit. And then I can pay X until end of turn. Creatures you control have base power and toughness XX and gain all creature types. So that's pretty cool. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can make all these little 1/1s 6/6s. So he's eyeing you up pretty good right about now. He's like, you jerk, you're going to pay for what you did. Let's put this over here so it doesn't look like it's part of the graveyard. But they're still just 1/1s right now. There's definitely no reason to send them, so we're going to pass. Okay, untap, upkeep, draw. Can you do anything? Just a land. Okay. Storm Carved Coast comes in tapped unless you control 2 or more lands. I do, so it's untapped. I do, well, one of them's awesome. I mean, Deadly Relic, which, if you control your commander, which I currently do, I can cast it without paying its mana, and it just exiles target creature, and it's an instant. So if someone swings something big or important my way, I can exile it at instant speed. But other than that, I got nothing I can do. I don't have any way to draw cards. Nope. And nobody has like flying or anything good to get past things. Although let's do that though. Let's not waste our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To activate his ability to put a +1/+1 counter on him and make a 1/1 white soldier token. Do I have that? Well, I have a 1/1 human, so good enough. And I have a 1/1 human over here. I need it over there. Anyway, so now we're getting a little. Now he's not legendary, so he's not going to get any buffs except for this one. So he's a 2/2. But if I could just keep doing that, at least I can get some creatures out past turn. Although that's just going to hinder the game a bit because it's just going to make more reasons for things to not attack. Okay, planes for turn. I need that land. Good job. Yeah, let's go ahead and reconfigure first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to reconfigure the bronze plate boar. Oops, wrong one. Onto my commander. So my commander now getting +3/+2 and has trample. So he's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's a 7 trample first strike. And he can take an extra combat, which is awesome. But still not ready to attack yet, which is so sad. I don't like that. But there's some methods to me madness at this point. Number of creatures to control, so that would be an extra 4. If I did that too, that could be really good if I could get enough mana to do both spells at once and then go crazy. I could do some serious damage. It might work. So let's see what we got. Let's try and bide our time and hope they don't think that's a big deal. It is a big deal. But let's hope they don't come swinging. Everybody's like, oh, yeah. And remember, we can't reconfigure this to give him flying, which will be really important. So untap, upkeep, draw. We're top decking. Yep, tap 3 for Worn Power Stone that comes in tapped, so that's not helpful at all. Nothing that I can sacrifice to draw a card, right? Yeah, no, darn it. So the question is, see now sending everybody, I'm tempted to just once again swing the board in this direction because he's got it like, yeah, but he can't kill all the rats. Anybody could kill the rats, that's the point. But it would wipe his board and hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 4 things would get through. And he would let the smallest things get through, which would be like his own creatures and probably Turgid because it has to be menace, so it would have to be blocked. He wouldn't double block it to get rid of that. So that'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage on him. But he would get rid of all of my rats, and then depending on how he blocked, he could get some of his creatures not back, but get rid of mine. So see, here's the thing. It's like I have a great board state, but there's just no simple way of swinging. However, that's true. Like anybody that's been paying attention should realize that Samurai is about to be a threat because if he puts that flying on there, he's now a flying, 7 something or, and it gets a buff too, I think, right? No, it doesn't. Just you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win. But still, it would be a 7/8 basically double striking commander because he would get an extra combat. So you're looking at, 14 commander damage on one turn. And he'd have some blockers left. So that's bad. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if I play a land, if I get one, everything becomes like a 7/7 or a 6. That's a lot. And so if these swing in, they don't die. Whereas these swing in, it's wow. I really don't know. What do you do? From Rat's perspective, it's in a really good spot, but I don't know if it should go. I don't think it does. I mean, the toxic is great and all, but I think it needs to sit because the rat colonies don't buff the toughness. That's part of the downfall of those creatures. They're amazing. They're constantly getting bigger and bigger. Well, as long as you play rats, but the backside's not. So I think we're gonna pass. It's a dumb idea, I guess, but we'll see. Because then we untap over here, we upkeep, we draw. Yep, we play a land. All right, so the 2 cards I have are not worth anything. Let me make sure I'm not misreading this. Yeah. Because you would think this mirror entity should be like XX. Pay it, because that's super easy. Just pay mana and they instantly get plus X. Oh no, have base power toughness. So they don't, it's not a buff. So I am saying that wrong. I apologize. But still, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now everything I have is a 7/7. That's it though. They're not higher than that. They're all just 7/7s. Yeah, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's enough to kill somebody if, it goes through. So where do you send it? Now, you could have the vendetta and be like, you took my creatures, you screwed me over, I'm going to get you. Yeah, and he does, they used to have the most life, but his creatures are really big, so if we swung it out, it could be a real, it's very tricky. And then, of course, like I said, if we pay attention, then we realize that Samurai is actually a bit of a threat at this point. It may not be an exciting game, but I find it really interesting because it's like everybody is like just it really is a standoff. Like I feel like no one can move. The first person that moves is gonna lose. And then it's just gonna be like a gang rush to see crazy just out of damage, 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 and then one person will be left standing, which is kind of exciting in my mind. But I know this isn't much like real Commander players are like, oh my gosh, you're still playing and blah blah blah. I would have comboed off by now or some garbage, but I don't know. I mean, I did this. I'm going to do it, so I want to swing. This has to swing. It doesn't have to, I suppose, but and I mean, there's nothing that says I can't do that at instant speed as a response to something. So I could try and do a rope a dope of my own, as it were, and be like, hey, I'm not going to attack with my 1/1s, and then someone swings into me, and nope, they're 7/7s. Yeah, I guess that's probably the smart move, huh? Oh, I forgot Temple of the False Gods. So they're actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have 8/8s. That's even better. Okay, I know it's dragging the game out a little bit, but I think that's the smart play, really. If I was playing, I'd be like, you got to come at me before I activate this. So pass turn. Right? Okay, so nothing. I didn't play any more creatures. I gained that life. I think I already did. I think I did. Um, Nothing's died. It has to be my creature, so yeah, we're good. Okay, we're gonna untap over here. Upkeep, draw. Okay, now this is fun. I said there's not many, but I don't know that I said there wasn't any. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to play two-headed Helicite, a flying menace haste 5/5. Whenever Helicite attacks, draw 2 cards. That's awesome. Now, first of all, I played a multicolor spell, and it's a 5-color spell, so I get 2 triggers. I get to scry 1. Yeah, I guess I'll leave that there. That's not bad. But then I do make a 4/4 angel, which is awesome. So this is really good. Okay, now I have flying, and no one else really has flying right now, so I can go anywhere. And he's got haste, so Hellkite is going to go, and he has menace, so even if someone had one flyer, it wouldn't matter. I don't like the 37, so I think I'm gonna, well, hmm, yeah, I think it's gonna go Geo, because we know, everybody should know, that's the plan, is to wait until someone swings in and buff them. It's not secret, it's not an instant spell, it's quite obvious. Um, Now I say that, but if I was in an actual game, I probably wouldn't remember that you had that on the field. That's what it did. I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna swing at you. Are you sure? Yeah. Oh crap. But you know, we're trying to pay attention here. So all right. So he's gonna be buffing from here, and he is not a legendary spell, but other creatures get it. So he's getting +2/+2. So you're gonna take 7 damage. Perfect. And when he attacks, I draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Excellent. You know what? Second main phase, I'll play the land I just drew, and then tap and tap to play Hero of Precinct 1. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Cool. All right, Legendaries is finally doing some stuff. Yeah, I like it. So that means this is now a 6/6 flyer as well. This is excellent. Let's try and put the flyers together, maybe. There, okay. But that's that. Nothing else happened. I did those triggers. I believe we've got everything here. We're going to pass. I'm going to come over here. Now let's see just how much we can do over here. Draw. Well, it's a land we need. Unfortunately, it's a tap land. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, and red spells cost 1 less to cast, but that doesn't count for like reconfiguring. So I want to reconfigure the thing on there. 5, 6, I said. And that's 4, and then that's another 4. So that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I can get one more, but that's cost less. So I could do 2 of these on next turn. Okay. It's going to make us a target, but we kind of have to. We got to try it. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to reconfigure whatever heck it is, Cloud Steel Kirin onto the commander. The commander can now fly, and it has I can't lose the game, your opponents can't win the game. So that's going to make me a target. And I don't think anybody has any targeted destruction or removal at this point, so we'll take damage, but we might be safe. Although, if that thing swings in, we're screwed. Or even that. So that might be what happens. We'll see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. Unfortunately, we're going to pass turn. So let's see at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flyer. Yep, okay. Now we're going to untap over here, and we're going to draw for turn. Ooh, okay. Interesting. I drew. I gotta stop doing that. Sorry. I drew Diabolic Edict. It's an instant spell. Target player sacrifices a creature. Now, what I'm thinking is, if I swing the multitude of creatures this way and make him sack a creature, now he's at a very big disadvantage and he's going to take a large amount of damage. Because what are my rats at? They are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. +5 +0. So they are 7 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 35 damage right there. He's at 35 life. If I get rid of, theoretically, if I make him sack one, swing these, and then Turgid, which needs 2 things to block it, so that's getting through. Like, I could conceivably kill, because he would block one of these. That thing's butt is bigger. Is it? It's actually smaller, huh? Ooh, yeah, it is. So this might actually kill it. That's unfortunate. And then this would definitely die. So that would actually screw up the plan I have over there as well. But so like it would be like block 2, take these 3, which would be, 21 plus 4 is 25. I would basically have to send everything else except for like maybe 1. But then that would leave me way open for this to swing in and flat out kill me. And then it would just be a matter of those two duking it out. So see, this is why it's kind of interesting to me. It's like, what do you do though? You know, like you're just at this point, like look at these creatures, look at the power of these creatures. Like I'm revving, it's like I want to attack, I want to attack. Go, go, go. But it's not a smart move because if I do that, I can, yes, you could kill him and you instantly die on the next turn. So what's the point in that, right? And as everyone thinks right now, we know that's a 7 and it's flying. So now no one can really block it except for him. And it has a secondary attack, a second combat. So now that's 14 commander damage. Okay, not that big of a deal, right? I mean, it is a very big deal, but it's not going to kill anybody. So they're like, okay, and there's still 3 people. So it's like, yeah, you do that on one person, you get everyone's attention, and then you die. So I guess rats would wait. I mean, it really is the smart move. And my diabolic edict, I mean, it's like, probably save that for if someone's attacking me, right? So, all right, we're gonna pass. I know this is dragging out. I apologize for that, but I'm very invested. Like, this is interesting to me. Draw a card for turn. It's a plains. I'm gonna play it. I mean, I got 2 destruction spells, but they're not. One's a targeted destroys one thing, like destroy target creature and planeswalker you don't control. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 creature, and then I have a board wipe. Destroy all creatures. They can't be random generated, and like it would make a spirit token if I had some stuff in my graveyard, which I don't. So and it's everything. So it would just hurt me too. And I don't have like it'd be one thing if I had a couple creatures in my hand. It's like, you know what? Let's wipe the board and I play a couple creatures and give myself the edge, but I don't, so there's no point in playing it. Unless and it isn't a sorcery gun, unfortunately, so I can't instant speed it, but I can instant speed the other one. So we'll say pass turn. Man, this is crazy because I wait till you see what I can try and do on Samurai's turn. That's why things might get better. But the cool thing is at least legendary can start doing things as well. So we untap, upkeep, draw. It's just a Spara's headquarters. That's land, whatever. I do need to remember I still have a Deadly Rollick in my hand for if that comes in handy. Okay, so we don't have anything else to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To put a +1/+1 counter on you and make another human. Unfortunately, I'm not casting any, but I can actually probably. Nope, I can't do that a second time. Darn it. You could say that'd be nice if I could pump it up one more time, but whatever. Okay. So these are just humans on the ground. That's a little human warrior on the ground. So right now, these are what we care about. We've got a 7/7 flyer and a 6/6 flyer. He draws this card, so we absolutely have to do that. So who's going to be? Yeah, I mean, it's not even really much of a break. 2-headed Hellkite's going at you. Angel's going at you. Well, we do know he's got a flyer. Well, actually, he's got a flyer, so I really can't attack him with this. So yeah, this will be going at you. 7/7, right? Because it's getting the buff from here and other creatures. So 7/7 flyer, you're taking 7 damage. And then I draw 2 cards, which is great. I played a land for turn already. However, this I can do. So, well, we'll just do the lands. 1 and 2 for. Wait, oh, your commander, actually. Ellis Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim. Death Touch. Another creature enters the battlefield under your control. You gain a life. Whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life. That's kind of funny. I forgot that that was in here. It is a multicolor spell. So I scry one. That I don't need right now. And then I played a multicolor spell, so I create another human. Sweet. I got myself a little. And these guys are getting that buff, so they are uh, other creatures, or other creatures, other creatures. So these are 3/3s. That's pretty solid. Still not enough to like go swinging it. So we're gonna pass turn. Now here's where it gets interesting if it makes sense to do it. Okay, playing a mountain for turn, that's useful. So we want that because this together, this is the ruby medallion, but this is going to get us one thing. And then this is going to get us something else, and then we have one left over. So basically what we're looking at right now is we can kill somebody. However, see? Wow, darn it. Man, that is rough. We can kill somebody, but then we die. Like, that's so interesting. Whoever flinches first dies. It's so crazy. I love it. But I want to do this. So we're gonna go. We're gonna tap 3, cost 1 less to cast for Furnace of Wrath. If a source would deal damage to a creature or player, it deals double that damage to that creature or player. This is for everybody, though. That's the problem. This is not just me. So everybody deals double damage now. We will then tap 4 to play Angelic Exaltation. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. Currently only 3, which is part of the problem. But that means it's going to get +3/+3. So what does that mean for us, right? We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it's going to get another 3. So that means it's going to be a 10, but it's going to be doubled. So that's 20. Oh my gosh. If we could just figure out a way to give it one more thing, one more damage, it could one-shot somebody with commander damage, and I could kill 2 people. Because then on the second attack, I could kill someone else. Oh, that's so upsetting. Yeah, I can't. It's a reconfigure 4. It's just not enough. Because then I wouldn't get this out, so it's like, oh, you were so close, Samurai. I love it. You're so good, but still, I need more creatures out. I need something. And I could have, if I didn't do that, he wouldn't have flying. So then, the trample is great, but it's like it all needs to come together. I just needed one more small creature early on, and this would have been perfect. Darn it. So that means I need both attack strikes to do it. Now, that's right. I keep forgetting. I can't technically lose the game unless someone gets rid of it, but that's the point. They can, right? Yeah. Deadly Rollick, I know he's got something, so he can't. He's not going to win. It's one of those things where the smart play is to hold on to the Deadly Rollick until it goes in your direction. He's outnumbered. Everybody else has more creatures than him. He's got to try. At this point, it's too far. So we're going to move to combat. It's going to get the trigger. It's going to untap, and there's a second combat. All right. Unfortunately, I don't have any samurai or warriors out that give the buff. I also have like at least 1 or 2 lands that give buffs for Exalted. None of them are showing up. All right, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 flying with trample. When it deals damage, it is doubled, so that's going to be 20 commander damage to somebody. Unfortunately, he never did damage to anybody, so I don't even have that option. Which means I have to waste both 20 strikes on one person. And no one's even low enough that a 20 damage total would kill somebody. So I don't know. This is interesting. What would you do? Would you spread it out? Would you do like 20 and 20 and say, go ahead, rats, do something or whatever? Or would you just take somebody out so that you're not the loser? Like I didn't die first. I'm tempted to do the I didn't die first. Because really, if you hit 2 people, you're just giving it to somebody else. Now we have to try and be objective because this character doesn't know they have Deadly Rollick, and I better check those hands as well. Diabolic Edict, but that's target player sacrifices, so they can sacrifice whatever they want. Yeah, closing statement. Destroy target creature, planeswalker you don't control. So maybe I shouldn't have checked the cards until I did it, because that's the problem. Now I should just attack rats, because all it would do would be like rats is still gonna die, it just takes a little less damage. Whereas if I attack either of these two, they're going to destroy it, and then I get screwed and I am the first to die. But I don't know that. Okay, so first off, they have a flyer, so they are legitimately not a target at this point. They don't have a flyer, they don't have a flyer. He can buff those up to be 8/8s. I can only block one thing. So either one of them could kill me. I guess we go after rats. I don't know if that's like, if my choice is tainted now that I know the things, but like that's a lot over there. He's got more creatures than him. His could conceivably be bigger, but it's still only 6 there, whereas it's like 9 over here, and these are almost as big. He gets one more rat, they're going to get even bigger. So I guess we go there, right? Take out the biggest threat, technically, which actually that's the biggest threat. Yep, we're going to go with you. You're going to play Diabolic Edict. Taps 1, costs 1 less to cast. Oh shoot, okay, I will, get rid of the guide, which means now this is 1 less damage, so it's not 10, it's 9. You take 9 damage in the air, which is 18, and then second combat, I swing again, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. So 18 damage because it's doubled, and then 18 damage again. You're dead. Boom. Oh man. So these go back to you. I'm still very pleased with Rat's performance. It just needs the card draw is really all it needs. I just need to figure out some way in black to get a couple extra things of card draw in there to get the rats faster, but that's it. So a very simplistic deck. I'm not bragging. I know that's how it's probably only got one real way to build it, so whatever. But unfortunately, that's all I can do. Everybody now has double damage. Pass turn to my demise. Oh, shoot. Although, he still can't lose the game with that equipment on there. So until someone actually does something about it. So untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to tap. Where the heck am I black? Tap the black for Night Market Lookout. Creature enter the battlefield under my control, so I gain a life. Whenever Night Market Lookout becomes tapped, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That's true too. We need to figure out because like I can't play either of these destruction spells without, and if I do, I then can no longer buff my creatures. Fortunately, I don't have anything that gives them trample, which would be the real killing blow on it. Although I don't have flying, so he's definitely going to crack back with the flying. He'll draw more cards. But yeah, wow, that's technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, that's tapped, but still. Like, so I can't overpower him either. I gotta go in that direction, but then I'm losing. Yeah. I can do Kurtrun's Wrath for 6. Can I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So I can play it, destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. And then if 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, instead destroy all creatures and then create creatures. But 1, 2, 3, 4. I only have 4 cards in my graveyard. So it would be a board wipe, and I don't really want to get rid of that. That's a really powerful card for this deck. Okay, let's do the math, right? We can tap for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can make them all 8/8s. That's 16, that's 32. And then, but he can block with one thing. So we would have to swing the entire board, right? In order to kill him. Then we would be totally open and we would die and the crack back doesn't help. Yep. We got to just bide our time. Again, let the guy with the big board state do the swinging first. So we pass it over to here, untap, upkeep, draw for turn. You have any important enchantments? Not really. What does this do? Whenever a creature you control dies. Yeah, but no one's died for a while over there. I think that's what we might want to do. I think we're going to go for it. I think we're going to try this, guys. I control my commander. I'm going to cast this at instant speed. I'm going to Deadly Rollick your thing that gives the buff. Now, I guess that doesn't work because I can probably activate the buff in response before it dies. So then everything would be 8/8s anyway. But I would force him to use it. I just don't attack him with anything on the ground, and now it's gone. And if he does, then he can't do his target destruction spell either. Right. Okay, so I think that's how this plays out. I say we go Deadly Rollick on that. You're like, okay, in response, I tap out. Everything is now an 8/8, but this gets exiled. Because it says you do it until end of turn, so I don't think the creature on the battlefield matters anymore. So these are 8/8s, and you're tapped out. Cool. I'm going to send my flyers at you, and then send a bunch of other shit this way. Shoot stuff, whatever, I don't know. So we will send all these little humans and a Death Toucher. Okay, so in the air, these are just getting the standard buff. The buff from here and the buff from here. So 7 and 5. So 12 damage in the air to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I draw 2 cards, which is great, but that's 2 lands, so crap. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, geez, I did that in the wrong order. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 damage is coming at you. Not all that much, really. Unfortunately, everything's so big that this will die, but I will block the biggest thing, which is this. So that means you're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You're taking 13 damage. Okay, 13 damage. Right? Yes. Second main phase. Going to go ahead and play Shivan Reef because whatever. Then we're going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sylvan Reclamation. Exile up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments. So trigger on the stack, that is a multicolored spell, so I'm going to scry 1. I'll leave that there. And I make another human. Do I have another human? I don't. So we'll just say the snake is a human. Then we're going to destroy both of these. Because even though, yeah, you're well, that's true. Oh, I'm sorry, I totally forgot. You're right. That was double damage. I totally forgot. That's double damage to everything. So that's another 7. That's another 12 to you. And then that was another, was 13 to you. Okay. Wow, much better. So then I guess the smart thing is we're gonna actually get rid of the Furnace of Wrath and this artifact, the Cloudkin. So that means you can, in fact, lose the game now. Because, smart playing Magic. I don't believe there's any other things. I still have those guys up for blocking. He can't buff those little 1/1s anymore. We are in a very good position. Going to pass. Untap, upkeep. Draw. Can pay 1, 2, 3 for Imperial Subduer. It's a 3/2. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, tap target creature you don't control. I kind of have a exile target artifact creature enchantment. I mean, I have March of Otherworldly Light. I can do that, but it's like, it's only one. Everybody's got like a crap ton. Although he still has trample. I mean, it's basically coming in second is all I can hope for at this point. So I suppose. Wait, what's this? Did that have anything good? No, only when it becomes tapped. But he does have Death Touch. It doesn't matter that what I just say. It's going to be but I can tap down. Okay. Yeah. So what are we looking at then? He is a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with trample. And when he attacks alone, I can tap down target creature I don't control. So I can tap down Mr. Death Touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't kill it even if he stack blocks because it's 3, 4, 5, 6 toughness. And he still gets this buff, so it's actually more. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to combat, swinging at you. That activates. I'm going to tap down your commander. This is going to untap. I'm going to get a second combat after this, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage with trample. So do you even stack block? Because you know the second crack is coming, and you know if you don't, if you just die, the second crack can at least go over there and do some more damage to the guy that's been killing you. Because otherwise, if you make him take both attacks onto you, what's the point? I think in that one, I would kind of lay down on the sword, as it were, and be like, yeah, okay, you know what? I don't block. You just hit me for 9. Second attack phase, I'm going to swing 9 trample at you. When it attacks alone, I can tap down target creature. So I can tap down somebody that's biggest. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll tap down your commander. Doesn't really matter because this is 3, 4, 5, and then this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and then this was what again? 9. I mean, actually, again, I would just take it because it's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna hit me with 9 commander. Cool, but I don't have any commander damage from you yet, so whatever. You pass turn, I untap all of this. I just, you know, draw a card, stern dismissal, which I knew. I could even play it just out of spite. Return target creature or enchantment to its owner's hand. Return your commander. Swing the board. You take excessive damage because you only have one blocker. I guess this, I don't know if this returns back to a creature when it unreconfigures. I don't know that that's, I'll have to look at it because it's weird. But still, one blocker, 2 blockers is irrelevant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 creatures. And heck, more than 9 damage in the air and you have no flyer. So boom, there you go. That is your game, folks. Hope it's not too terribly long. But Legendaries finally got there. Did some decent stuff, but good synergies. I know it was a very stalematey, probably boring to you guys game, but I enjoyed it because I don't know, from my perspective, it was really cool to try and figure out like who goes first, who dies first. Because we got to this point where everyone just kept playing just enough creatures that no one had a real advantage and no one could just swing in without being a massive target for everybody else. So that was kind of cool for me. I know it was a long one, but anyway, I hope you saw some cards you like. Put them in your decks. I hope if I made more mistakes that I didn't catch, I apologize. I hope I didn't. And I will see you guys next time.